To week 3 of our ballet journal challenge. So I always say this is a really fun week to me because it's taking artists, which if you are a dancer, if you love ballet and you love to dance, then yes, you are an artist, and maybe challenging them to use a different medium. Right? So this week, if you got the email, we are drawing and doodling. So we're taking the things that we're learning in ballet class, we're bringing them into our journal, and we're drawing them, we're doodling them, we're exploring what the movement looks when we visualize it on our paper. What is the energy doing? Which direction is it going? Right? And some of you may be artists who use pencil and paper. I don't specifically consider myself one. So for all of you who are like, oh, I'm not an artist, I'm not someone who draws, stick with me. I'm going to show you my stick figure drawings and just how much it doesn't matter what it looks like, okay? So if you've ever watched any of my YouTube videos, or if you've ever come and taken any of my classes, you know I'm all about the energy in ballet, right? I'm always talking about the circular energy that's constantly happening, the oppositional energy where we're pulling up through the head and pushing down through the body, everything that is opening. It's like basically energy going in a million different directions. So, in fact, side note, when I started the whole point, 4 years ago or whatever it was, the whole reason that I started it is because I wanted to make ballet instructional videos that I would be able to draw on and draw the energy out and show pictures of the muscles and the skeleton. Now, I haven't quite found any editing software that allows me to draw on the videos, but if you've watched the videos on my YouTube, I tried to put in directional arrows as often as possible. Hey guys, let me know in the comments below if you are joining the journal challenge, where you're joining from, and I would also love to know if you consider yourself a pencil to paper artist, or if you're someone who likes to doodle. Like if I'm ever on the phone, I doodle in all of my notebooks, so it's no surprise that I doodle in my ballet journals. Before we start drawing together, I want to show you some of my older ballet journals and drawings so you can get an idea of just how basic this can be. And I will keep reiterating this, it's for you. It's not for anyone else. You don't have to be showing anyone else your journal. This is for you. It's about the process. So first, let me show you these drawings. I know they'll be backwards for you, but right here we have a plie in fifth and a retiré up to balance. This is something that we did every week in my ballet class, and it was so difficult for me when I started that I had to draw it out. Here are some feet, and it's even saying like which direction the back foot is brushing, which foot is beating, and it says the word beat, and then how you land in cribbé back. That is a jeté battu. And down here I have a stretch that we did in floor bar every week, and it says like which leg is the right leg and which leg is the left leg, because I really struggle with that. Sometimes I still mix up my right and my left, but like when I first started ballet, right and left were such foreign concepts. I was always tangled up in a ball of limbs. So drawing them out, putting arrows of, which direction are we going, which leg is landing in front, which leg is beating, that sort of thing was extremely helpful for me. Now, so those are stick figures, right? They're super basic, but you don't even have to do stick figures. You can just do arrows of energy. Also, you can just do arrows of direction, right? Directional arrows or energetic arrows. Here's another example of a combination where I was writing down which direction, right? As I wrote down glissade, sisson, jeté, I'm writing, we're going to the right. This is to the left, and I'm writing out the arrows. Anything that you do in class, we've talked about this before, has many different layers. That is what your journal is for, is coming back to it when you're not in the midst of class, when you're not in the anxiety of being in front of other people, of having all of this information, and it's moving very quickly. You get to come back, it's just you and your journal, and you start to peel the layers back and start to look. What direction is this going? What muscles am I wanting to activate? What are my arms doing? What is my big toe doing? What is, my chin doing? There's so many layers in ballet. So to me, that is just the beauty of ballet journaling and why I'm so passionate about it. Now, I haven't got the new journals yet. They are for sale on Amazon. There's 2 different journals this year. There's one that has more doodles and prompts in it, and then one that's like last year's journal where it's lined pages with quotes. This is last year's journal. And in the back, we have blank pages for drawing because I'm such a fan of it. So this is a drawing I did the other day when I was teaching. It's for if you were facing the bar in tendu derriere and you're gonna slide out into a grand lunge, right? And so I was showing them, and see, you can see they're not proportional, they're not perfect, they're so far from perfect, but it's all about the idea, the energy, right? So I'm showing them facing the bar in tendu derriere, and I even put like a little circle around the big toe because I really want them to be sliding out on that big toe. When I was teaching this class and they were doing the lunge, a lot of them were sliding on the top of their foot. So you can edit your drawings and emphasize whatever you like. And then I'm just showing as it slides out, you're thinking still about the rotation through this leg, about the rotation through the leg that is taking 80% of that weight. And then it's all about this separation here, right where the back meets the pelvis, right? So I drew this out as I was teaching with the students. I think it's a great learning tool to sit down and even talk about with your teacher or with other students. What do you feel when you're doing this move or this exercise? What are you feeling in this part of your body? I'm feeling this. What about you? And then you can journal about it and start to really get into all of those layers. So I wanted to draw together. Okay, so here's my my person. Whoops, there they are, in second, right? So their arms are in second and their leg is in second. I kind of messed up with that foot, but we're just gonna go with it. That's a pointed foot. Hey guys, so now we're gonna start drawing the energy arrows, right? So first I'm gonna draw the oppositional energy where this foot that you're standing on, your supporting leg, that foot, you have it anchored in the heel, and then you have the tripod of the big toe and the pinky toe, right? So it's like the foot is fanning out into the floor. Sorry guys, there's like a glare, so I keep, so the foot's anchored down and it's spreading out. And the more that you let that tripod spread out, the more that you can gain energy up the body. So it's going up through the body and down through the foot. And then there's also energy that's expanding through the chest, right, across to opposite sides of the room, and through the hips across to opposite sides of the room. This is going to get really hard to tell, but this is the energy across the chest and across the hips. Then you can continue there and add rotational energy, right, through the leg, wrapping around, through the heels, wrapping forward, the toes are pointing down. And that same wrapping that you're having in the hip of wrapping and rotating that heel forward, rotating from the top of the thigh, is happening in the arms, right? There's all of these patterns in ballet that we start to discover as we learn more, as we dissect it. So that same rotation is happening in the chest, right? It's happening in the ribs. The ribs are wrapping open, they're lifting up, the shoulders are wrapping down and back. That arm in second is wrapping around just like the thigh is in the hip socket. So if you've ever been to any of my journal workshops before, you've seen me absolutely obliterate stick figures with arrows. So I'm gonna try to not overdo it today, but see, we have the wrapping in the arm, we have the wrapping in the leg, and I can continue. I have been known to arrow my stick figures to death because there's so many lines of energy in ballet. But if you don't even want to do this, if you're just looking to maybe do arrows, right? You could just do how we stand in first position, and you're just doing arrows of energy, right? You're just saying, I'm wrapping across and up. Or if you're drawing out, say, a combination, you could draw out, the patterning of the combination, or sometimes just trying to doodle a new move or a new position can be really helpful because I don't know about for you, but for me, I'm very visual. And sometimes when I'm writing, it can be hard for me to describe exactly what it is that I saw. But if I can draw, and again, it doesn't have to be great, it just has to make sense to you. And it's not even about the finished product, it's about the process, right? So I want you, as you do this week, as you go through your classes and you pick what exercises, what moves you're going to doodle and draw, I want you to give yourself permission to be messy, permission to be mediocre at drawing, right? Permission to do a messy, crappy drawing, because it is not about the product. It is about the process. That is going to be reiterated again and again and again. This journaling process, you have to let go of the perfectionism. You have to let go of the idea that there is a right way to do it, right? It's all about the process. It's all about the journey of learning ballet, learning about your body, learning about the way that your brain works and the way that you process new information. So I want you guys, as you go through your classes this week, to pick something, be drawing, be doodling, take pictures of it. You can send it to me in a DM. You can post it in your stories or your Instagram feed and tag me. I would absolutely love to see them. I will be doing a post later with some examples from past journal jumpstarts and journal challenges that I've done. We have some really talented artists in our community, and they're like illustration level, right? I would love to one day be able to put together a ballet book with some of the illustrations from members of the community. Also, lastly, I just want to remind you that the Beyond Ballet community is open now. So if this is resonating with you, if you're enjoying the journaling process, if you're enjoying looking at ballet a little bit zoomed out, a little bit more holistically, I would love to have you in the community with us. We will be doing our February, review, realign, and recommit. Those too many R's. We're doing our February live coaching call where we look at January, we talk through it, and then we plan for February. We're doing it on January 31st. It's a Sunday, so if you'd like to join us before then, drop me a DM. We can talk about it, see if it's a good fit for you. We also have our book club meeting on Monday, so if you want to get in for that, this is only the second chapter that we're going into dance anatomy, which really lines up with what we're doing in the journaling. We're learning more about the anatomy. We're learning about which muscles we actually want to be firing. I'm telling you, there is so much wisdom in working with your brain as you approach ballet and not just beating your body into submission whatever way you can. Also, every month in the Beyond Ballet community, I send out a video that's just for the members that has a class focus, and I have those directional arrows of energy, and then I also provide supplemental exercises that will support that class focus. So if you'd like to go a little bit deeper than just doing a class and start focusing on one thing at a time, start dissecting one thing at a time, like retiré, like tendu, like développé, right? And going into a deep dive with that at the same time that you're working on improving your mindset by using habits like journaling, like affirmations, like visualization, and having that community as a sounding board so you can say, hey, like this week was really tough. This class, I just felt like I sucked. I couldn't keep up with anything. And we'll be there for you to listen to you, walk you through where those beliefs are getting in the way, commiserate with you because we're all adults doing the same thing, trying to have ballet be part of our lives as we are adults. And also just to encourage you, supply you with inspiration, resources. It's a really fantastic community. So if that sounds good to you at all, DM me, let's talk. And I will see you guys next